The crystalline halls of the Zephyrian Imperial Palace had never witnessed such an unprecedented gathering. Representatives from 47 star systems stood in rigid formation, their various appendages, tentacles, and sensory organs all focused on the massive viewport, displaying Earth's blue marble suspended in the void. Emperor Kethavar's daughter, Princess Lyrily, pressed her pale hands against the cold metal wall, her luminescent eyes reflecting the distant planet. Born without vocal cords, a cruel genetic twist that had kept her silent for her 23 cycles, she had become the Empire's most closely guarded secret. No one spoke of the mute princess, especially not in the presence of her father, whose rage could incinerate entire solar systems. "The humans will surrender within 3 rotations," Kethavar announced, his voice resonating through the chamber like thunder through crystal. "Their primitive technology cannot withstand our graviton cannons." Alexander Chen wiped the sweat from his brow as he hunched over the makeshift laboratory and what remained of Geneva's underground research facility. The 28-year-old biochemist had been working non-stop for 72 hours, ever since the alien fleet had appeared in Earth's orbit. While the world's military forces prepared their final desperate defense, Alexander pursued a different kind of warfare, one fought with molecules instead of missiles. "Any progress?" Nora Blackwood asked, sliding a cup of coffee across the metal table. The xenolinguist had been monitoring alien communications, trying to decode their language patterns. Her usually pristine lab coat was stained with spilled beverages and exhaustion. "Maybe," Alexander muttered, adjusting his microscope. "I've been analyzing the atmospheric samples our satellites collected from their ships. Their biology is fascinating, silicon-based but with carbon hybrid organs. If I'm right about their respiratory system, you think you can poison them? Not poison. Something better." Alexander's eyes gleamed with an idea that could either save humanity or doom them all. "I think I can give them something they've never experienced before." 3 days later, the human delegation stood on the bridge of the Zephyrian flagship, their hands zip-tied behind their backs. Earth's surrender had been swift and absolute. The aliens' technology was simply too advanced to resist. Alexander and Nora had volunteered for this mission, carrying with them humanity's last hope disguised as a peace offering. A small vial of what appeared to be Earth's finest wine, synthesized with Alexander's revolutionary compound. "Your emperor requested a sample of human culture," Nora said in the broken Zephyrian she had managed to learn. "This represents the pinnacle of our artistic achievement." The massive alien guards escorted them through corridors that seemed to bend reality itself. Princess Lyrily watched from the shadows, her curiosity piqued by these strange bipedal creatures. She had studied human transmissions in secret, learning their languages while her father prepared for conquest. Something about their defiance, their refusal to simply accept extinction, fascinated her. In the throne room, Emperor Kethavar examined the vial with 8 different types of sensors. "You offer us fermented plant matter as tribute?" "It's more than that," Alexander said carefully. "It's how we celebrate life, how we mark joy, how we remember those we love. Every drop contains the essence of human experience." The Emperor's laugh could have shattered moons. "Pathetic. Guards, dispose of this waste and prepare the humans for interrogation." But Princess Lyrily stepped forward, her movement graceful despite her father's surprised roar. Before anyone could stop her, she took the vial and raised it to her lips. The moment the liquid touched her tongue, something extraordinary happened. Alexander's compound, a carefully designed neurochemical catalyst based on the alien's unique silicon-carbon biology, didn't just affect her taste receptors. It triggered a cascade reaction in her neural pathways, temporarily bridging gaps that had existed since birth. For the first time in her life, Princess Lyrily could speak. "Father," she whispered, her voice like music made of starlight. I can hear the songs." The throne room fell silent. Every alien present knew what this meant. Their princess had been granted the ability to experience Synthara, the neurochemical symphony that their species considered the highest form of consciousness. It was something no medical technology had been able to provide her. "What is this sorcery?" Kethavar demanded, but his voice trembled with wonder rather than rage. "It's not magic," Alexander said quietly. "It's empathy. We studied your biology, understood your neural chemistry, and created something that could help her experience what she'd always been denied. We didn't do it to hurt you or control you. We did it because no being should live in silence when they long to sing. Princess Lyralee turned to her father, tears streaming down her face as she experienced emotional synesthesia for the first time. Father, they gave me music. They gave me colors I've never seen, harmonies I've never felt. How can we destroy beings capable of such compassion? The effect was temporary. Alexander had designed it that way. But its impact would last forever. As the princess's voice faded back to silence, she gestured frantically to her father, using sign language that conveyed a single, powerful message. She says, the court translator announced shakily, that any species capable of healing an enemy's daughter deserves not conquest, but partnership. Emperor Keithavar stared at the humans for a long moment, then at his daughter's radiant face. You could have weaponized this compound. You could have used it to control us. We could have, Nora agreed. But that's not who we are. When we see suffering, we try to heal it. When we encounter difference, we try to understand it. When we find beauty, we try to share it. The Emperor's decision would echo across the galaxy. The Zephyrian Empire, one of the most feared military forces in known space, became humanity's first and most powerful ally. Trade routes opened, technologies merged, and cultures intertwined. Princess Lyralee became Earth's first alien ambassador, learning human sign language and teaching humans the deeper mysteries of Zephyrian science. Though she could only speak when given Alexander's compound, a treatment she chose to use sparingly, making each word precious, she communicated volumes through her actions. Years later, when other species threatened either world, they found themselves facing not just human ingenuity or Zephyrian firepower, but something far more dangerous. Two civilizations that had learned to see the universe through each other's eyes. The galaxy discovered that day what humans had always known, that the greatest strength lies not in the ability to destroy your enemies, but in the wisdom to turn them into family. Alexander Chen continued his research, developing treatments for dozens of species across the galaxy. Nora Blackwood became the universe's premier xenolinguist, bridging communication gaps that had existed for millennia. But they never forgot that first moment when a simple act of compassion changed the course of galactic history. When giving an alien princess the gift of voice gave humanity the gift of survival. And in the crystalline halls of the Zephyrian Imperial Palace, where once only silence had reigned, the sound of laughter could now be heard echoing through eternity.